final validation check that we're going to use is a type check. So this is a little bit more complicated, but very, very useful. If you are asking for an integer to be put in and numbers are put in, letters are put in, then that's going to mess up your program. In fact, if you've got int input and letters are put in, your program will actually crash. So what we want to do is to keep the program running. So we can use this try and except block. Now it goes into an infinite loop here. It's inside a while true block. So while true, try, then ask the question. So age equals int input, enter your age. Now if the age is entered in as numbers, then we need to break that while loop because it's an infinite loop. So we'd use the word break there. However, if someone enters, writes, 24 in using letters, the program would normally raise an error message. So what we have here is we have the except. Now the except catches the Python error message and replaces it with our own message. Now there are lots of different ways of different except methods you can use, but if you use just this one for now, then it will pick up any error, whether it's a type error or any other kind of error. Okay, so this way, this will just then because it's in a while loop, it will go back here and ask again. If numbers are entered, it will break the loop and come out. Otherwise, it will keep asking for that. Right, so I won't test it yet because there's another one I've done here. If we have a string, we can use different methods. So I'm going with a phone number because many of you people think that a phone number would be an integer, but actually because most phone numbers start with 0, the Python will, or any programming language will discard that 0 as being useless because 0, 1 is simply 1, so it discards the 0. So you can't take in a telephone number as an integer, it has to be a string. So what we want to do then, we want to enter the phone number. We only want digits in our phone number, so we are going to use this isdigit check here. Now what that will do is it will print, it will print true if they are digits and it will print false if there's not. So probably you would store it in a variable actually, and then you can use it again. So if phone number if the variable is false, you can then go back round to tell them they've got to enter only numbers. So I'll show you what I mean. So we'll start with the first one. We'll enter our age. Okay, so I'm going to enter 20 in letters, and you'll see that we got to the except. Instead of crashing, you must enter numbers, and it's gone back to enter during your age. So if I put 20 in as numbers, it's now come out of there and it's now asking for the phone number. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bunch of letters in, and it says false. Okay, because it's not got digits in it. So let's run it again. 20. Now if I put a bunch of digits in, that says true. And if I do some digits and some letters, it says false. Now obviously what you could then do, you can store that in a variable and say, let's say variable is called check. So if check is equal to false, or while check is equal to false, you can go back and say you must only enter digits for your phone number. And then of course you could combine it then with a length check, because phone numbers are 11 digits long. Now I've not done that for you. I think that that's something that you could play with yourself now to complete that program. And if you do complete that program, you can't send me the Python files because they will be blocked, but you can copy and paste your code into an email, or if you've done it on an online editor and you've got an account, then you could maybe share it with me. But that would be very nice to see you complete that. That program should now be completed so that if numbers are not entered, you go back and you re-enter, get numbers entered, and also you should include a length check as well. So that's the last of the validation tutorials. Get to grips with those, and then I will send you the link to the data validation replit course.